Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
The Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, has blamed state governments for ignoring early warnings that could have averted the impact of this year's flooding. Speaking during a briefing after the Federal Executive Council meeting yesterday, Adamu, who acknowledged that there is no way flood can be stopped, asserted that there was adequate information regarding the enormity of the disaster and states that would be affected but were ignored. Adamu also blamed tree felling and degraded soil for the massive impact of this year's floods in the country, but assured that the present administration is already working on a flood management master plan that will take at least 3 years to complete. Similarly, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, absolved the federal government of any blame for not providing temporary shelters for citizens in vulnerable floodplains, maintaining that it is the responsibility of states and local governments. The Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, has concluded arrangements to start the process for carrying out the review of the remuneration of all political, public and judicial office holders in the country. Its chairman, Mohammed Shehu, who stated this during a recent courtesy visit to the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, promised to produce fair and credible remuneration for the affected officers before the end of this present administration. Tambuwal, who congratulated Shehu on his new appointment as RMAFC chairman, lauded the commission on its move to commence the process for the review of remuneration, saying the salaries of judges in the country are one of the least in public service. The Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has announced that the bank would release redesigned Naira notes by December 15, 2022. Speaking yesterday at a press conference in Abuja, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, said the Apex Bank had obtained the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari to redesign the 200 Naira note, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes, which will begin circulation from December 15th, while the existing ones would remain legal tender until January 2023.
As enshrined in Section 2B of the CBN Act of 2007, to ensure a strong and effective legal tender. It is therefore no longer tenable to continue with business as usual. Furthermore, we believe that the redesign of the currency will help deepen our drive to entrench cashless economy, and it will be complemented by increased minting of our Naira. This will further rein in the currency outside the banking system into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more efficacious.
He urged deposit money banks currently holding existing denominations to begin returning them back to the CBN immediately. He added that for the purpose of the exercise, bank charges for cash deposit are suspended with immediate effect. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has reassured Nigerians that there is no going back on the transmission of results to the INEC results viewing portal in real time on election day. The INEC chairman at the third quarterly meetings with political parties yesterday in Abuja said the commission has also resolved to ensure that adequate bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, is deployed for voter accreditation.
Let me once again reassure Nigerians that there is no going back on the deployment of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for voter accreditation. There is no going back on the transmission of results on the INEC result viewing portal in real time on election day. There will be no incident form that enables ineligible persons to vote using other people's permanent voters' cards during elections. We are committed to ensuring that the 2023 general election is transparent and credible, reflecting the will of the Nigerian people.
Our correspondent Raliat Adinekon reports that INEC chairman stated that after a rigorous cleaning up of the data using the Automated Biometric Identification System, ABIS, a total of 2,780,756 were identified as ineligible registrants, while valid registrations post-ABIS is now 9,518,188.
2,780,756, or 26% of new voters, 22.6% of new voters were identified as ineligible registrants and invalidated from the record. Among them, double and multiple registrants, underage persons, and outrightly fake registrations that failed to meet our business rules. Consequently, the number of valid registrations post-ABIS is now 9,518,188.
Professor Yakubu further noted that part of the Electoral Act 2022 requires the Commission to display the hard copies of the Register of Voters for each registration areas, amongst others, not later than 90 days to a general election.
The 9.5 million new voters have been added to the existing register of 84,004,084 voters. The preliminary register of voters in Nigeria now stands at 93,522,272. It is preliminary because Section 19, subsections 1 and 2 of the Electoral Act requires the Commission to display the hard copies of the register of voters for each registration area or ward and local government area, and simultaneously publish the entire register on the Commission's website for a period of 2 weeks for scrutiny, claims, and objections by citizens, not later than 90 days to a general election.
The former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Olisa Betu, has resigned from the party and quit partisan politics, citing the need to contribute to the nation's building without the hindrance of partisanship. In a letter dated October 25, 2022, and addressed to the party's national chairman, Betu said a copy of his resignation letter has been transmitted to his ward chairman in line with the provision of the PDP constitution. Titled Resignation from the PDP, Betu on Wednesday stated that his decision to say his goodbyes to the party was taken in the course of his recent medical trip abroad. The Labour Party has released an updated list of 1,453 members as its final presidential campaign council list for the 2023 general election. Recall that the party had earlier released a 1,234 member campaign council list, which was later retracted to accommodate more people and capture all interest. Its national chairman, Julius Abure, at a news conference in Abuja on Wednesday, said that the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council remained Dr. Doyin Okukbe, while retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Zariwa, would serve as the chairman. Abure appealed to all LP supporters who have been working for the party, but the list was unable to accommodate, to continue their work to support the party, while the campaign council and the committees will be inaugurated on Friday, October 28. Then the campaign will kick off in Lafia in Nasarawa State on Saturday, October 29. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has clarified that the board has not cancelled or deferred any admission to universities, polytechnics or colleges of education as a result of the prolonged strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The Registrar and Chief Executive of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, disclosed this yesterday, shortly before he declared open the National Executive Council meeting of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, in Abuja. He said that the obligation of admitting students lies with the universities, as about 3 different sessions are being run by various universities. The Lagos State government has unveiled 3 newly constructed fire service stations and upgraded the headquarters of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service in Ikeja. At the physical unveiling of the Ebute Elefun fire station and also virtual commissioning of both Oniru and Ajeromi Feludun fire stations, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu urged Lagos residents to protect the facilities from vandals. The governor, who also unveiled the newly upgraded headquarters of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Alausa Station, said the aim was in a bid to rebrand and reposition the agency for improved services.
And I want to enjoin all Lagosians, especially people that are living around the new locations and the upgraded fire stations, to take full ownership of them and ensure that it's another public property that must be protected that must be safe from any form of attack, that must be safe from any form of vandalization, and see it that it's a public good and we must protect and see it as one.
You're still listening to the World News. Moving on to the foreign scene, delegates of the Ethiopian government and rival Tigray forces have started peace talks in Pretoria, the South African government has said, marking the first formal meeting between the two warring sides after nearly 2 years of bloody conflict. South Africa is ready to serve as a host and provide assistance to the peace talks, according to Magwenya, adding that the country hoped the talks would lead to lasting peace for the people of Ethiopia. The talks are being mediated by an African Union team led by Nigeria's former president Olusegun Obasanjo, supported by Kenya's former leader Uhuru Kenyatta and South Africa's ex-vice president Fumisile Mlambo Nguka. American billionaire Elon Musk has posted a video of himself walking into Twitter's headquarters. It was not clear whether the Tesla boss met with executives at Twitter on Wednesday, but he faces a Friday deadline to complete the $44 billion purchase, which he announced months ago but then tried to abandon. Musk first revealed plans to buy Twitter. He said he wanted to clean up spam accounts on the platform and preserve it as a venue for free speech, but hesitated at the purchase just a few weeks later, citing concerns that the number of fake accounts on the platform was higher than Twitter claimed. Twitter executives denied the accusations, arguing that Musk wanted out because he was worried about the price. They eventually filed a lawsuit to hold him to the deal, and Musk revived his takeover plans for the company on the condition that legal proceedings were paused. However, the deal must be completed by October 28, or he will face trial over the contract. And now to business news. The federal government has announced the selected preferred and reserve bidders for Nigerian airport concession. Senator Hadi Sirika, the Minister of Aviation, who made the announcement when he addressed newsmen on Wednesday, said the preferred bidder for the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, is the Corporación America Airport Consortium, while ENL Consortium has also been selected as the reserve bidder for the same airport. Sirika said the preferred bidder for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, is TAV NACO Project Plant Limited, PPL Consortium. For the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, it is Corporación America Airports Consortium, while Sifax Changi Consortium has also been selected as the reserve bidder for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport as well. The minister, however, added that Port Harcourt International Airport, Port Harcourt, did not receive any proposals when the request for proposal deadline closed. The minister said the process was a multi-stage process, adding that the next stage of the program is the negotiations and due diligence stage, during which the ministry will invite preferred bidders to enter detailed negotiations with its representatives. And now to sport news. President Muhammadu Buhari has flagged off the Touch of Unity movement, signifying the commencement of the 21st National Sports Festival, tagged Delta 2022. Represented by the Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the President described the forthcoming festival as the engine room for producing great champions that will represent the country at international competitions. While reiterating his administration's commitment to the development of sports in the country, he explained that sports has remained a unifying platform for Nigerians, and as such, government will continue to invest in it. Nigeria's under-17 women's national team, Flamingos, lost to Colombia in the semi-final of the ongoing FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in India. The game ended goalless after regulation time when Colombia defeated the Nigerians 5-6 on penalties to grab their ticket for Sunday's final. The third-place match on Sunday will be between Nigeria and the Germans, who had lost 1-0 to defending champions Spain. UEFA Champions League action continued last night in the round of 5 group matches. Bayern Munich sealed FC Barcelona's misery with a 3-0 win. Liverpool also clinched a spot in the last 16 with a 3-0 victory at Ajax. Inter Milan beat Victoria Plzen 4-0, while Atletico Madrid said goodbye to the UEFA Champions League following a 2-2 draw with Bayer Leverkusen, who were already out. Other results saw Tottenham settle for a 1-1 draw with Sporting Lisbon. Eintracht Frankfurt beat Olympique Marseille 2-1. Napoli claimed a 3-0 win over Glasgow Rangers, and FC Porto beat Club Brugge 4-0. Attention now moves to the UEFA Europa League, where PSV host Arsenal and Manchester United welcome Sheriff.
Lagos Talks
91.3.